Welcome to Arabian Rock Contracting Company. Today our topic is life critical requirements. For Arabian Rock Company, nothing is important than your health and safety. Safety is a core value of Arabian Rock Company, and we believe that all incidents are preventable. The following environmental, safety, and health life critical requirements apply to all Arabian Rock employees and subcontractor personnel who perform work on this project. Compliance with life critical requirements is a condition of employment on the project. Site management responsibilities. Site management will be responsible for: Number 1. Endorse life critical requirements and answer employee questions prior to acknowledgement. Number 2. Facilitate training in the applicable ES&H work process procedures, safe working methods and job site work rules to employees and subcontractors. Number 3. Implement life critical requirements. Number 4. Take appropriate action in response to identified non-compliance, and inform Royal Commission. Site supervision responsibilities. Site supervision will be responsible for: Number 1. Ensure all employees are trained in the applicable ES&H work process procedures, safe working methods and job site work rules. Number 2. Properly plan for tasks associated with life critical requirements to mitigate the risk of potential hazards. Conduct pre-work start briefings. Number 3. Report violations observed when employees perform work contrary to the established standards. Site personnel responsibilities. All persons performing work on this contract project site are required to read, understand, and acknowledge acceptance of these life critical requirements prior to performing any work on the Jubail project site, and fully comply with them at all times. Stop unsafe work without fear of reprisal. If you believe that the work you are performing or observing presents a risk to people, property, or the environment, exercise your stop work authority immediately and report your concern to your supervisor. Exercise your stop work authority and speak with your supervisor if uncertain of safe work requirements or you do not have the proper tools, equipment or correct PPE. Do not attempt any job that requires you to take on uncontrolled risk. Practice courageous leadership. Courageous leadership means addressing hazardous conditions or at-risk behaviors in a constructive and effective manner immediately to correct the behavior and/or mitigate the hazard. Report all injuries, illnesses sustained on the work site immediately to your supervisor and then proceed to first aid. Critical life requirements are: fitness for work, full protection and prevention, confined space sentry, lockout, takeout, lifting operations, defeating safety devices, barricades, hard and soft, elevated work platforms, scaffolding, excavation and trenching, uncontrolled vehicle, pedestrian interface, personal protective life-saving equipment. Number 1. Fitness for work. Always report to work fit for duty. Never use, possess, distribute, sell or be under the influence of illegal drugs and/or abuse-controlled substances, including prescription drugs not authorized by a physician. Never consume or be under the influence of alcohol. Employees using prescription or legal non-prescription drug that might in any way impair their ability to perform assigned job duties shall immediately notify Human Resources, Supervisor, Safety Department before using the drug at work. Medications brought to site must have a prescription indicating employee name and quantity. Number 2. Full protection and prevention. Never expose yourself, direct or allow others to be exposed to potential falls from unprotected heights of 1.83 meter or greater without the use of positive fall protection or fall arrest equipment. Exception: use of personal fall protection is not required when climbing or working on fixed ladders less than 7.3 meters in length or on portable ladders. Always secure at an approved anchorage point. Never work around exposed edges and floor openings that are not securely covered and/or hard barricaded. Immediately report all unguarded edges and open holes. Number 3. Confined space sentry. Never enter a confined space unless atmospheric testing has been performed. Never enter a confined space without an approved permit. Never enter a confined space without an attendant at the entrance and an effective way to communicate. Number 4. Lotto. Lockout, takeout. Never remove or tamper with any tag or lock installed for the safety of personnel. Prior to work, lock and tag machinery, equipment, components, or systems that may contain any type of stored energy. All residual or stored energy must be eliminated prior to any work activities. Number 5. Lifting operations. Operate all equipment in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions or guidelines. Never walk or stand under a suspended load. Never hoist loads over people. Never work within a load shadow, that is, anywhere the load can fall. Never cross a barricade that controls an area with a suspended load unless you are authorized, that is, part of the lift team. Never operate cranes, lifting equipment, suspended personnel platforms, or rigging devices unless authorized and verified as competent. Number 6. Defeating safety devices. This includes but is not limited to disconnecting load indicators, removing rotating equipment guards, fixing triggers or power switches in the on position, removing equipment or tool handles, hardwiring electrical wires into outlets, use of damaged equipment or tools that have been tagged out of service, failure to inspect equipment or tools, failure to use outrigger pads. Number 7. Barricades. Only authorized personnel may work within designated barricades indicated by red danger tape or international equivalent. Always isolate imminent danger areas with proper barricades and information tags. Number 8. Elevated work platforms. Never stand on the toe board, mid-rail, or top rail of the basket. Never enter a basket without being tied off to the manufacturer's designated anchor point, even during ground positioning, without documented approval for the deviation. Never exit the basket at height unless prior, documented approval for the deviation has been obtained from Royal Commission ES&H personnel. Number 9. Scaffolding. Obey the scaffold rules at all times. Never use any scaffold without a current date tag. Scaffold rules include strict adherence to the color-coded tagging system of red, yellow and green tags as appropriate. Some projects may not use yellow. Never access a red-tagged scaffold. Only authorized scaffold builders are permitted and they must wear required fall protection. Never access a yellow-tagged scaffold without 100% tie-off or fall protection. Scaffolds not tagged are assumed to be red-tagged. Never alter or modify a scaffold unless you are competent, qualified and authorized to do so. Number 10. Excavation and trenching. Never enter an excavation or trench, or direct others to enter without a prior, documented, formal assessment by a competent person. Never enter an excavation that does not have an up-to-date daily inspection checklist posted indicating that it is safe to enter. Never perform excavations without a competent person present. Adequate ingress, egress such as stairs and ladders are required within 7.6 meters of each worker in all trenches greater than 1.2 meters in depth. Number 11. Uncontrolled vehicle pedestrian interface. Never operate equipment on site without identifying the swing radius and barricading and signing accordingly. Never walk in a work area with mobile equipment operating without gaining approval and making positive contact with all drivers or operators. Only approach mobile equipment when it is stopped and secured from movement. Never walk near any moving mobile equipment on an access road that is not controlled by a banksman. Always use pedestrian access routes and dedicated crossing points. Do not walk on roadways. Never go into a blind spot. Number 12. Personal protective life-saving equipment. Ensure respiratory protective equipment is available to all persons who are exposed to any situation in which there is a possibility of the atmosphere being or becoming deficient in oxygen or containing harmful substance, for example particle, dust, mist, vapor or gas. Never work without proper respiratory protective equipment selected on the basis of hazard in which you will be exposed and the information provided in material safety data sheet associated with the substance being used.